A DJI Mini 2 review, where I share 11 things that I hate. Hate is maybe a strong word, but I don't like about the Mini 2 after I've been flying it for 3 weeks. It does not come as a surprise for people that know me that I don't like the screw mounting on the drone. I think they could have upgraded that part. This is primitive and you need to remember a screwdriver and all sorts of stuff. It would be much easier with a quick swap solution like we know from the more expensive drones. And now some of you saying, oh, they can't keep the weight down because if they put in like extra plastic here, it will be too heavy. No, it's not. Actually, the drone has plenty of headroom. The new version with the new battery is only 238 grams. So there is plenty of room to be able to put in a quick swap solution here on for the props. The size of the controller. They kept the original size of the drone, but they introduced a controller that is a lot larger and heavier, and that has some pretty cool advantages. Of course it has, but it also destroys a little bit about the ease of use and portability that the original one had. I wish they would allow us to connect the Mavic 2 Pro remote to the DJI Mini 2, because that will bring the controller down to a size like this while still maintaining the OcuSync. The top speed of the Mini 2 is actually becoming a problem here locally, at least in Denmark. I don't know how the regulation is in other parts of the world. But with 16 meters per second, it exceeds the maximum speed limit that is allowed in Denmark for the category called micro drones. That is set to 50 kilometers per hour or 31 miles per hour. That is sort of the speed limit for the drone. If it exceeds that, it's no longer a micro drone and you would have to register it, regardless if it's sub 250 grams. Some might say this is not a big deal because you're probably being forced due to the new regulations to register the drone anyway because it's equipped with a pretty capable camera. I was pretty disappointed to learn that this was not a C0 drone, at least it's not labeled like a C0. That would put it in the open category under A1, where you would be allowed to fly over people without consent and would not need to take any online courses and tests. The drone does not fit under that category as it is right now. You have this nice option to shoot 180 degrees panoramas or 360 pictures, but when you're trying to upload them to social medias like Facebook, they're not being processed correctly as it is right now. It's just showing the flat image, which is not very 360 degree-ish. So that part is not working very well right now. You can do this with the Mini 1 and Litchi directly off the bat, and it works absolutely perfectly and you don't need to do anything. With that being said, the pictures that are being used are actually stored on the SD card, so you can manually stitch them with third-party software. It's much easier and much more convenient that you could just upload the photo and it will work right out of the box. This is definitely something that I would expect DJI would fix. Smaller thing that could be really nice, but it's a bit annoying, is when you are enabling quickshot modes, you lose all the controls like tilting the gimbal. You're not also capable of zooming while you are performing the quickshot. And why would you want to zoom while you're doing quickshots? Yeah, you could do some pretty nice like dolly zoom effects and stuff like that. That would be a lot easier if you could combine that with the quickshots. It's not a big thing, but it's still something that's annoying and could be fixed in software. It's a real shame the SDK is not available for the Mini 2, so you can use third-party apps like Litchi, adding cool functionality like active track and follow me mode. So right now, the Mavic Mini has more features than the Mini 2. I would expect DJI to correct this within 6 months from now. I have experienced on multiple occasions that the gimbal is being knocked out of position, and this is not only happening in sport mode like some reports that I've seen online that could be caused by excessive pitch of the drone. This is happening on pretty calm conditions when I'm flying sideways. The drone is suddenly doing something completely unpredictable and ruining your shot. I haven't seen a clear pattern in what is going on, but there's definitely something that DJI needs to look into. This is not something that you want the gimbal to do like this while you're recording your money shot. One thing that I don't like is that they are using context-sensitive menus, meaning that the context of the menus are changing depending on what shooting mode you put the camera into. So if you're shooting photos, you have one set of parameters under the camera tab. If you're switching into panoramas, you have another set of parameters, and so forth. This is very confusing and not very logical. They should put all the options inside under the camera tab and divide it into sections, or maybe make separate tabs or so. This is really bad and unlogical UI UX design. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. DJI throttles the speed when you are moving close to the ground. I did a maximum speed test because I was kind of curious. I couldn't make the drone go towards the maximum speed. And it turns out if you're flying close to the ground, close enough for the downward sensors to see the ground, DJI decides to throttle the speed. I know they probably have a ton of arguments why they need to do that. But if you like those low flying shots at high velocity, it's a shame that they limit the maximum speed. Lack of front facing sensors. Why did they put this ridiculous color shifting LED in the front of the drone? I think it's a waste of, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is for, because it's not bright enough so you can see it when it's up in the sky. So I think it's like a girlish cosmetic thing. I think it's more like a fashion statement from them, but it's completely useless if you ask me. They should have added front-facing obstacle avoidance instead, like we knew from the DJI Spark. And again, the argument will come up, oh, that will bring the weight or 250 grams. No, it was 238 grams. And I would think that they could easily have fitted in a sensor or two in the drone within that weight budget. They probably have considered it, but for some reason they've decided not to. It would have been nice, and I'm pretty sure that many that are new to the hobby would have appreciated that. So those were the 11 negative things that I had to say about the DJI Mini 2 after flying it for 3 weeks. And there might be more to come. Do you have anything that you find annoying with the DJI Mini 2? Then let me know in the comment below. Oh, you're so negative. I can see already by now that all the DJI fanboys are at the keys and starting to type, you're the biggest idiot of the universe, you don't know nothing, this is nothing, da 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 da. But keep them coming, I'm ready for you guys. I have no problem with that. I've been called all sorts of stuff in the comments before, so I don't worry about that. But is it all negative about the DJI Mini 2, or isn't there anything positive to say about this drone? There actually is, and that's why I have already released a video with 21 reasons why you should buy the DJI Mini 2. And I will also be releasing a video that is discussing if it's worth upgrading to the DJI Mini 2 if you already own a Mavic Mini. In case you want to watch these two videos, you can access those through this card. I hope you liked this video. If you did, then feel free to give it a like. If you didn't like it, feel free to press the dislike button twice. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you around.